What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And if you don't know who I am, I run a Canadian clothing company called K-Bud Apparel that's done multiple six figures in sales online. So I help clothing brand owners like you get really good results. And what I want to talk to you about in this video here is how if you're only marketing your clothing brand with organic marketing strategies, this is where you're marketing your clothing brand without spending any money and you're just sort of making posts online, you're going to reach a certain plateau with this where you're going to hit a limit and you're not going to really be able to take your clothing brand to that next level. The next level that requires you to transition into a phase of paid advertising where you're actually, taking into control how many people are seeing your clothing brand and you're scaling up using paid advertising. I want to talk to you about this transition and what this looks like. It's going to be a really great video. Here it is. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd. And if you need designs made for your clothing brand, then I really recommend that you give them a shot for the designs of your clothing brand. You post a project on there, amazing designers from all around the world will compete for your project. You choose the winner, then you get that design plus revisions. Here's an example of a design that I had made through Design Crowd that's the best-selling hoodie on my website right now. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer that I have for you where you can save up to $100 or simply use the discount code apparel when you post a project on Design Crowd. All right, so there's this fantasy that most clothing brand owners have, including me when I was growing up my clothing brand at the beginning, which is that we envision the growth of our clothing brand through solely posting on social media and through organic content online. The reason why this is a fantasy for us is because we picture growing our clothing brand, into this huge thing without the expenses of paid advertising, right? Imagine we could get all the benefits of paid advertising without actually having to pay. That's how we sort of envision growing our clothing brands. And that's most clothing brand owners' approach when they first start up their clothing brands is I'm just going to make tons of posts on social media, take that sort of Gary Vaynerchuk style of just, blitzing Instagram and TikTok, and I should just be able to, get really, really good results by doing that. Well, I want to share with you a mistake that I made growing my own clothing brand. I'm 4.5 years in now, and I think that I could have been where I'm at right now a lot earlier if I'd run my clothing brand a lot differently. And so I really want to get ahead of you here if you're a lot earlier in your journey so that you can get to the next level a lot quicker than I did. And one of the things that I did, I had that same philosophy growing up my clothing brand from the beginning. I didn't want to spend any money on paid advertising. I was hoarding my money and I was just trying to grow organically. One of the things that you're going to notice is that you're going to, be able to get some serious results from just working Instagram or just working TikTok or whatever it is. If you really put in the work, you really take the time to learn your brand, you will eventually, get to a point where things start to roll for you. We had some years, I made like $60,000 one year, barely spending any money on paid advertising. But you will eventually reach a plateau where really in order to get to that next level of scaling up your clothing brand, you need more control and you need to be, you need to have better sort of control over your exposure of your clothing brand. And that's really what I've been doing over, say, the past year or so. And it's really just cracked open my clothing brand and got my clothing brand to a whole other level. And so, what this looked like was there was tremendous growth in my clothing brand for about a year or two when it first started up. And then, it sort of plateaued for the next, say, year and a half. And the reason why it plateaued was because I was just trying to get to the next level of organic growth online. I was just trying out that, that new Instagram strategy or that hitting up TikTok, and maybe this will lead to more sales, and maybe this will lead to more sales. And that was really my whole marketing strategy. And even though all of that is still extremely important and really good for you to continuously do, introducing an effective paid advertising strategy, or I guess marketing strategy that requires, a budget, really unlocked my clothing brand's potential. And I have a feeling that, some of you watching this are getting some results right now and you're just sort of frustrated with that organic growth. Well, I think that, unlocking your clothing brand's potential with Facebook ads is really another step for you to take in order to really get to that next level. Now, Getting to that next level with Facebook ads is tricky, not only in actually getting results for your clothing brand with the money that you're spending, but also just psychologically sort of taking on the risk factor of putting money up front and actually investing into yourself and into your own brand. And I think that that's really why it is the next level for your clothing brand, is because, really in order to push the needle forward, it generally requires another level of risk. It generally requires getting outside of your comfort zone and starting to learn new things and getting into that next level. And, this is what I've found has worked out really well for me. Now, I really want to illustrate just how much of an opportunity Facebook ads really is right now. And I really don't think a lot of people understand exactly what Facebook ads has introduced to the world. And one of the things that you may have thought before is, why aren't my parents as inclined to be entrepreneurs as I am? Why aren't our parents' generation like that? Well, it's because the opportunity when they were growing up wasn't there to be entrepreneurs. To start up your own business costs like hundreds of thousands of dollars. You had to open up a store. There was no internet. There was no phones, and it cost all this money. There was this insane amount of risk, and even advertising that business would have been really hard. You think about something like Facebook ads. What Facebook ads has introduced is this opportunity for new businesses to become extremely specialized. Your clothing brand can be so specific, because with advertising, you can target now exactly who your perfect customer is practically every time. And back in their day, growing up, and still now, think about sharing an ad on a TV, right? Maybe an old lady's gonna watch it. Maybe a little kid's gonna watch it, or on a billboard. You don't know who the hell's driving by that billboard. That's what advertising was for the past, 50 years. And now that the internet's here, it's you can come out with this thing that's perfect for somebody and just boom, just put it right in front of that exact person, just again and again, and hit them with it. And that is really the opportunity that Facebook ads is presenting to us right now. The only challenge for you and for me is to really have the understanding and the psychological power to create a brand that's so specific and niched and sort of just tight and aligned with somebody, and then actually, get the targeting right so that you're actually getting the brand in front of the right people. That's really the challenge that we have as clothing brand owners here. But if you can do that, Facebook ads can just be an insanely effective thing for us. And, you don't need to jump through any hoops. You don't need to, open any doors to get there. It's not like you need to meet somebody or have some sort of introduction to get that advertising space. You can just decide to do it right now on your own. And it's really this free market. I really just wanted to show you that growing a clothing brand just through simply, working social media and growing Instagram, although that's a really good method and it will get you some results, really in order to get to that next level with your business and take your business to, the place that it really needs to go, it may just require of you to start learning the advertising world. And there's a reason why so many businesses invest in advertising, and it's because it works if you know what you're doing. And Facebook ads is just a tremendous opportunity for you to dive into if you feel like your clothing brand's ready. And I just wanted to sort of get in front of you here, so that you don't just sit around for years only doing the organic thing. If your clothing brand is ready for paid advertising and could get amazing results through using it, right? Just because you're spending money doesn't mean that you're losing money. If you're spending money and it's making you even more money, then that's really the way that you're going to be able to scale up your clothing brand. Take the control into your own hands and really get your clothing brand in front of the right people, with a lot more accuracy, and really scale up your clothing brand that way. If you want to go more into the Facebook ad strategies, check out my YouTube video called Proven Facebook Ad Strategies. I posted it 3 weeks ago. I go way deeper into the actual Facebook ads. And I really hope that you got a lot of value out of this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Drop your brand down there as well. Let's check out the brands that are watching. And if you haven't already, check out my free clothing brand marketing masterclass. All you have to do to get access is go to apparelsuccess.com/masterclass. You can watch the whole thing for free. And if you made it to this point in the video, I want to tell you about the closed Facebook group that we have for Apparel Success. There's a link in the description. Follow that link, join us in the group, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.